Hey, it's noon central on Wednesday, and that can mean only one thing. It's time for a little live Q&A for or with me. So, three questions this week. First question is, can you talk about a time where you experienced car reluctance and what made you finally overcome it? You know, it's funny. I took a job between my junior and senior years selling, it was called the Independent Order Foresters. They sold like emergency mini insurance plans to people that were in lower income brackets. Now back then it was the 80s, so I got my leads on index cards, and there was a phone with a punch code there and punch buttons, and I just would call and talk to people. But the fact of the matter is I didn't make many calls. In fact, they only made one sale. And the sale that they gave me, they actually had to give me the benefit of the doubt on the commission because I even screwed up the sale. So I had tons of car reluctance, and in fact, Mr. Willie, who was actually the stepdad of a girl that I knew, who thought I'd be great in sales. And by the way, everybody I'd ever met at that point in my life thought I'd be great in sales because I was this gregarious, outgoing guy who was hiding all of his shame and pain by trying to be nice and funny and whatnot. And yet on the inside, I couldn't deal. And so he basically came to me and said, "Hey, you're not doing a good job with this." Sorry. I said, "No." He says, "You got to go." And so he let me go. That was pretty demoralizing for me. And so that was really, this is 1988. And I didn't get my real estate license until 1998. So I really suffered from call reluctance for about 10 years. What helped me overcome it was that I worked on the phones at a mutual fund company, starting in customer service. And then I moved to the sales desk and was really taught by people how to be effective on the phone. But more importantly, I got lots of training on the mental and emotional aspect of what it takes to be good on the phone. And I learned a lot of strategies to push away at the time anything that made me feel not good about myself as a result of getting on the phone. And quite honestly, I'd gotten so good at hiding my persona that it really wasn't as hard for me as I thought it would have been. But nonetheless, what ended up working for me is that I really dug down and found out at least why I had the car reluctance, and I was willing to do some mental and emotional work around it so that I could get through it. And really that is the key to overcoming sales car reluctance now. It's let's go back and find out what the origin is of your call reluctance, what's causing it, and then dealing with the challenges, the pain, the emotions that come with that, and letting them out so that you can go ahead and make space for good stuff. Number two, do I have call reluctance, or is it just a normal fear that will go away in time? Great question. So here's how the numbers shake out. I mean, you may or may not include yourself in these numbers, but 60% of all salespeople have call reluctance of some sort because of the need to be liked. Okay, so 60% have a very strong need to be liked. 40% of seasoned salespeople and 80% of newer salespeople have call reluctance, period. But here's the thing. There are two types of call reluctance. Number one, we have people who don't know what to say, when to say it, how to say it, okay? And they are having trouble with how to articulate their value. And so if they work at it, if they continue to role play, if they continue to hop on the phone and make calls and prospect and get feedback, they'll overcome that, okay? And so their call reluctance is more a syntax issue, right? Not knowing what to say, when to say it, how to say it, and how to handle things. If the thought of getting on your phone upsets your stomach, makes your mouth dry, gives you sweaty palms, sweaty pits, lightheadedness, upset stomach, if you literally are afraid of the phone and do not, under any circumstances, want to get on the phone, if you are a procrastinator or perfectionist, things like that, then you probably have emotional call reluctance, which is the kind of call reluctance that you'll do anything to avoid getting on the phone. So if you can get on the phone, you're a little chippy, a little weird about it, but you can get on the phone and you can do the things necessary to be successful, you have what I call like a syntax issue with call reluctance. If you have true fear of getting on the phone, fear of rejection, fear of not being liked, that is definitely more serious emotional call reluctance that requires a lot more work. Number three, I have a salesperson under me. What's the best way to motivate them to pick up the phone? The one thing we can't teach people is how to be hungry, if that makes sense. We can't teach hunger. We can't teach want. We can't teach desire. I used to say that I couldn't teach people how to overcome their fear of getting on the phone. Now I can do it. But hunger it's a thing that it's 100% in our control as individuals. Now, you may be able to create some pain around them not getting what they want. Not so much, hey, look at this, you can become a millionaire, you can make a ton of money and all these things, because a lot of people don't even see that that's possible for themselves. However, if you want to create pain around something that they want that they're not going to get, that may be a better way to do that. If you get a chance, go Google Tony Robbins' Dickens process, and there's a 15-minute audio there about the Dickens process. And what he does is he takes people through a future pacing of what their life would be like if they didn't do something that they should have done to get what they want, or if they continue to do something destructive to themselves. So if they're a smoker, an overeater, a drinker, if they're an avoider, a procrastinator, perfectionist, or they know they're supposed to do things to be some successful. And watch that video, because what happens is he really future paces for people and takes them through the mental and emotional and literally visual exercise of seeing themselves 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years down the road as a result of either not doing what they were supposed to or doing things that are destructive. So that may be some help there for you. We're here every Wednesday, 12 p.m. Central. If you want to send me some questions, you can email them to Wally at Phone Sales Secrets, or you can just drop them right here in Instagram. I love talking with you folks, and I love sharing whatever information I can to help make your lives and businesses better. We'll talk soon.